I'm a LitKidBeats.
Welcome back on another road trip. A little bit dark, so I'm not sure how well you can see me, but I'm sure it's okay. We are going to a little place called Milltown, another 20 minutes maybe past Tuam, which is it'll take about an hour to get there, give or take, from the city. So I've just finished work, a little bit later than I had expected, but not such a big deal. We are going out to Boutique Autocare, the homie Sean's place. We're going to detail the car. Going to detail the Lolo. The paint is about maybe 8 or 9 months old at this stage, so more than fine to start hitting it with a couple of things. I don't think it's going to need any wet sanding or anything like that. It's never been buffed or polished or anything like that. There's a couple of little spots we'll have to hit with the clay bar, but other than that, I really don't think it's going to need much. Very, very little, but we'll get a professional opinion off Sean once we get there. So we're about half an hour away, maybe 25 minutes, so we'll check in when we arrive with Sean. Right, we just landed at Sean's. It's significantly darker than when I left work, but that's what happens. So, Mr. Sean, this is the handsome man right here. Hello. The homie Sean.
How are you getting on?
What do you reckon?
She won't take much.
Do you think so?
No, it's a very good paint job.
Yeah, I think it is. I had it now. You would know an awful lot better looking at me, but Ivan did a fantastic job. Like, there doesn't appear to be any real kind of orange peel in it or anything.
No, it's very consistent.
Like for something that's never been buffed or, I didn't touch it with any sort of polish or nothing.
And it's plenty hard enough as well.
Yeah, it was painted since August. So, well, July technically, so it's at least 6 or 8 months old, give or take, yeah. So, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. One thing I will mention to you, I don't know if you remember, but in my shed at home, there's that big beam across the top of it.
Yeah.
When I park that in under it, the odd time now when it's getting shitty weather, it's not on the roof, so I'm not sure where it's coming from, but down on the front corner over here, I'll show you now.
Is it dripping off
That's what I thought too, but you see you can see them here on the corner. I thought they were like grinder marks. I thought maybe, but they're not. No, they all came off with a clay bar.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not too worried. There was a blast of them all up the wing as well. So I thought it was initially dripping off the beam, but also when I park that in the shed, I leave the window open because the shed gets awful damp. Now there's an old gate out the back of that, so maybe just splashing in or something, shitty coloured water, something like that. So when I park it front ways in the shed, there's a few shitty marks there, and when I reverse it into the shed, there's a few shitty marks the opposite corner.
Okay, so it could be coming off if you've a covering underneath the galvanized of the roof. It could be coming off that. Could be just getting old, and
I know some of that does leak. Yeah, some of that does leak. Like right, but there's the fact that it came off with a clay bar.
I absolutely love that. I think that's
that turned everything. Well, the whole, not to sound like an arsehole, but the whole car turned every fucking head up in Ballina the last day, which I'm not surprised at. That's true.
Not used to anything cool.
That's true. Yeah, the likes of me landing up there in this yoke. But so there's a few little spots like that because I saw them. And I thought it was grinder marks. I thought maybe, because usually if I have any good amount,
take them out anyway if it was grinder marks.
Really?
Yeah.
Grand, okay. Because the outlet made shite of it the first time it was painted. He was grinding something, and the whole back, the whole fucking thing, we burnt it to bits with the grinder. But there's a few little bits the same on that back corner as well, but nothing too crazy. I've gone at it with a clay bar a little bit, but overall, your opinion is shouldn't be anything too crazy?
No, shouldn't be anything too crazy. We're going to have something gleaming after it.
Yeah, it's an awful shame, and I was saying it on the way down as well. It's an awful shame that you don't really get like any mad reflection off white. Do you know what I mean? You won't really ever see.
Oh, we will.
Do you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
You won't be able to get any.
That's what I'm aiming for. Anyway. A bouncing.
Yeah.
Bouncing white. Also.
Well, ideally, what I would like is, let's say if I was coming behind you now on the motorway and it was a sunny day, that if you looked in the mirror, you were fucking blinded.
Yeah.
That's what I would. That's what I'd be going for.
White is very deceptive like that. If it's a pearl or anything, you won't get as much reflection. That's more just a glass base white.
Yeah, all that's literally
way
just
better bounce off that rather than as a pearl that hides reflection and
it'll disperse the reflection as opposed to bounce it back at you.
In certain cars, if the shade is a bit darker, if it's more towards a grey, you won't get as good a reflection. I find. But you can even see it there, like you can see. Say at the bottom of your doors, you mightn't pick it up in the camera, but you can see the.
Oh yeah, I suppose you can make out the concrete and the door. Yeah, true. I suppose, yeah.
And even a bit here in the back room, you can kind of see it. So
I guess so, yeah.
Well,
whatever you reckon, really. To be totally honest with you, I don't really think it needs it. To tell you the truth, it's good and tidy. I was kind of thinking, like, I have one of them steam cleaners or like whatever you call them. You know, the brush with the fucking. Yeah. I was going to go at them, but I don't entirely trust them. I don't know would they be too the heat and wet in case it start to peel off it.
Yeah, that's why I said I'd ask you, because some, especially door cards, they'll lift.
Yeah, so
even newer cars now,
really
if you put too much heat and too much.
It'll melt whatever glue is on them.
Too much abrasion into it, it'll just lose
so
it.
Aside from maybe just a wipe down or something, and a rub it over, I wouldn't even bother. I know you usually take the seats out and stuff like that. I wouldn't bother. I don't think there's any need. Like I leave it to you, but I don't think there's any need to tell you the truth.
Smarten it up a bit.
Yeah. Other than that, the inside of it is perfect. Like it doesn't really need anything else. To be totally honest with you, even the outside doesn't even really need anything. But it's always nice, and especially like you were saying about doing a sealer and stuff like that as well.
And show season is coming up now, so it's nice
to
have it looking right, and it makes it a lot easier for you to
keep it that bit cleaner as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
so less maintenance and everything.
Yeah, so they say.
Wash it and dry it, and
pretty much. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything else. There were the two things I was going to point out. The few little spots with the little, what I thought was grinder marks on the corners of the bumper there. But other than that, that's the only thing that was kind of out of the ordinary, I suppose. You know?
I know, look, you're like a new penny now when you have it back.
Yeah, very good.
I've been looking forward to it now ever since you spoke about even getting it resprayed and everything, and it just fell into place so fast. It was we start into this lady. I've been looking forward to doing this for a good while, so it's been long overdue. So we'll pull it out, wash it down, get all the dust and dirt off it, and get into it. Now, it's all washed, but I think I'm going to decontaminate the whole thing. There's small specks here and there. Now, Tony did say that there was a bit of metal grinding and cutting going on in the same shed. So, it only seems to really be on the back end of it, so maybe there's a vice or something down the end of his shed. We'll just de-iron the whole thing. We'll dry it off and de-iron it, just give it its best chance. So check back with you in a few minutes. Now, like I said, there was a lot of iron on the back of the car, but kind of underestimated. There's a lot of iron everywhere. A lot of iron everywhere. So I'll give that a minute or two. I give it another dose. There's probably about a litre of JTech Bleed iron remover on it. I'll give it another shot of it. It's not fully dissolved yet, and then I'll rinse it all off. It's so smelly, but it's so satisfying now. Anywho, now that's it, washed, decontaminated and dried, and you know, it's already looking more reflective. Yeah, see a solid reflection on there. What we're gonna do now is get the trusty skein grip, pop it on, and we'll see what we're working with. And to be honest, it ain't half bad at all. My God, I know white is very hard to pick up on camera, but there's absolutely minimal swirling. Like, it's gonna take damn all effort to get this thing absolutely popping. Right, we'll get at it.
Right, we're back at Sean's again, following day. How'd you gone this morning, Sean?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Can't complain.
Very good.
What did I do this morning? Washed it anyway.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, there's like specks of iron and shit in it. So I gave it a good douse with iron remover. And when we were looking at it last night, it all seemed to be on like the back bumper. Specks, just on say like the ledge of the back bumper.
Yeah. Just shit flying off the tyre probably, so.
And then when I was dosing on it, I said I'll dose the whole thing, but
yeah,
there was a lot of iron on it.
Yeah, I'll stick in that photo you sent me there of the bonnet there, and I'll stick it in the video here. But jeez, I was surprised.
Insert that photo.
We will.
Here.
Right here, exactly. Yeah, I'm surprised, but yeah. So what's the plan here? What are we doing here? So
I'm gonna do a test spot. But after the iron it definitely brought a lot of life back to it. It took a lot of the scummy look that was on it.
Yeah.
So it just might be just baked into it, sitting around.
Yeah.
Iron baked into it. So
yeah.
It's like you can even see a bit of a reflection on it now.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's not a whole lot of swirls, not a lot of haze in it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a liquid medium or fine cut on a medium pad. So it's not awfully abrasive. And we'll see what kind of result we're getting. And if that's working, we'll give it that, and if it's not working, we'll chance something else on this side. And
okay, so that's the idea of testing it. You do kind of a one theory in combination this side, and try something the other side, and then see what kind of.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
It seemed to have worked in the past for me, like nearly 10 years, I don't know, which makes me feel really old, even though.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I'm only a sprog in comparison to yourself and everyone else.
Staring down the barrel of 40 here.
Staring down the barrel of 30 here.
Yeah, exactly. One of us is bad as the other.
One was on the good side. We're both on the good side of 50, so not too bad.
Yeah.
But even still, we'll see what this comes out like.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the
carry on from there. Yeah, lovely. Yeah. That's the finest.
Sweet. Ramp her up.
See your reflection in it as you were getting down there.
Yeah.
How do you know when it's enough, like when to stop?
It'll start moving very transparent, and it'll kind of it'll break down the polish to a certain point that it's not going to be any more beneficial.
Right.
So it's like it's a diminishing abrasive, it's called.
Okay.
So it's a water-based product, and the abrasives in them are diminishing. They don't. A lot of body shops now they use a non-diminishing abrasive, so they can keep working it for longer and longer and longer.
Okay.
But the problem with that is then it cakes on it. It doesn't
It's harder
like
to
heat.
get off then, is it?
Yeah.
And that's this stuff, is it?
That's the it's all Visor polishes and pads
Yeah.
I use and Roops machines.
I see.
And the liquid elements one.
Yeah. Whoever you are, sponsor the homie. Give them some free stuff.
Oh, give me as much free stuff as you like. I will not.
Give a man to accept abuse.
Yeah, I get that for free everywhere.
Exactly.
But yeah,
But there's a very, very good reflection in it there now.
we'll buff it off.
So when you say you're like, what is it you're looking for? Like when you were saying trying the different combinations of pads and polishes, or
I'll show you now. In 2 seconds, we'll get the old scan grip light out,
Yeah.
and we can see it from this side to this side.
okay.
One thing I'd say, if there's anyone that wants to get into detail, you can spend as much money as you like on machines and pads and polishes, but lights are the most important thing.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was doing it for so long with poor lights and everything, but keep an eye
Same
on
as
the
that, I
lights.
suppose. It's like having the right tool for
Exactly,
whatever,
the tool for
yeah,
every
yeah.
job, but if you
Yeah.
don't have the right tool, you're not going to do the good job.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, keep an eye on the likes of Black Friday sales and stuff. You'll pick up the likes of a Scan Grip or Sealy do good ones.
Yeah.
You'll pick them up.
Handy.
Not awfully handy, not awfully cheap, but
Yeah.
at a good discounted rate.
But like you said, like invest in yourself and invest in your tools and have good stuff. Like
Exactly. So I don't know if you can see it from that side, but here it's very dull. It's kind
I
of small.
can't really, I
bits of
wouldn't
swirl.
really know what I'm looking for, kind of. But
I'll take that if you want. No. You can see it just on the light. It's very hazy.
kind of cloudy, sort of, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's certain small swirls here and there as you go over this side. It's,
Oh, like, with
it's
the light
pure
closer, you can-
clarity.
yeah, yeah. I
There's
can
no
see it now, yeah.
hazing, there's no swirls. So that combo seemed to have worked. You can actually see the elements in the light perfectly on the reflection.
Yeah.
Which
Okay,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mental. And if you go over this side then,
It's harder to make
yeah,
out. Yeah,
you can see the haze in it and the
Right.
swirls and everything.
Okay.
If you
And I think that's harder to see on some colours than others. Then also.
yeah, white is definitely harder to pick up on camera.
Yeah.
But
But probably even just with the naked eye too is probably a bit harder, is it? Or?
yeah, if you had
Yeah.
sunlight is the best light.
Really? So a
Yeah.
day like today is probably not great for it, is it? Or well, it makes no odds because you're doing it inside, I suppose, is it? Or
It's much of a muchness, but if you're outside, you're not going to see half of it, especially on a white car.
Yeah.
Silver hides it, white hides it. That seemed to have worked, so we're
carry
plowing
on with that combo. Very good.
So at least we have a quarter of the roof done now, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll give it socks then.
So I was about to say we, but Sean has all the polishing done. I just sat here and watched and looked good while I was doing it.
It's like when you do the tattoos for me, I just lie there and watch.
Exactly, you sit there looking, yeah. You're not just a pretty face, great hair and dance moves, Sean. But
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
But it has come up absolutely fantastic. It really does. It's kind of a shame that it's overcast and it's getting dark, but like the video doesn't do it any justice. The shine off it is unreal. I kind of doubted how shiny it could be, but Sean made it work. It looks brilliant. What do you reckon, Sean? How do you feel it went overall?
Very smoothly. Very, very smoothly. Happy with it now. It's as easy to do it when there's a good base on it anyway. So
yeah.
Like I said, it didn't need a whole pile of correcting or anything like that. So.
And you're saying with some cars you have to do it twice. Is that what 2-stage means? You have to do it twice?
You'd have to do a heavier cut and then a finer cut, where we just got it all done in the one stage. So cool. It's not too bad.
Oh, it looks great.
It was damn all imperfections or anything. And
yeah.
It just needed that extra bit of lease of life in fairness.
Yeah. Even on the camera here now, it looks unbelievably shiny in person, but even on the phone you can make it out too as well. It looks really, really good. So what's next? So we'll put away a few bits and then we have to
tidy away all the bits and bobs, and then we'll pick a sealant to put on it, panel wipe it, seal it, let it cure, buff it off, probably clean the glass, give it a little hoover inside, take a few nice pictures and videos.
That's the finest. What have we got there, Sean?
Panel wipe. I use Geon Prep. This is nice. It doesn't smell like...
It smells lovely. It smells really nice.
Yeah, it smells kind of fruity.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like...
no more than myself.
Tinners or anything.
And that is it, like essentially wax and grease remover kind of to take off
pretty much
polish residue.
Pulls off all the old polish residue and just cleans in any little crevices or anything.
Yeah.
Gives it a bit more chance to bond right. And
and if you don't do that, does it make a difference really? Like
I found it has, yeah. It doesn't seem to last as long.
Right.
And no matter if you put a wax, a sealant, a coating or whatever.
Yeah.
It just doesn't want to last as long unless you panel wipe it.
Yeah. And obviously we have to do the whole car then, is it? Or?
Everywhere we've polished basically.
Yeah, so the whole car, okay. Grand. And we're going to use the fancy white stuff, is it?
Yeah.
Grand. This stuff is very fancy. It looks like a tub of Philadelphia. The cream cheese.
I wouldn't
put it on a cracker and eat it now.
Like the billboard outside your house, the Philadelphia cheese one, it looks like a styrofoam sandwich.
Exactly, yeah. The king of glass. Is there mad Japanese translations on it anywhere, I wonder?
There probably is.
I'm sure there is somewhere, yeah.
To the Chinese restaurant to get it done.
It looks very fancy. And you're saying you can't get it anymore?
There's new revisions of it and it's just not as good as the old stuff.
Yeah. And often the way, I suppose, when they change stuff like that, isn't it? Like we were saying earlier with my ink for work, it's never as good as the stuff with all the nasty chemicals in it.
Exactly. Some things shouldn't be changed.
Yeah. So a bit of the panel wipe, and do we have to leave that for a little while for it to kind of dry off for want of a better word?
I know it's flashing off there literally as I'm wiping it. So.
Sound. and then the other stuff just goes on and busts straight off, or has that to be left a while as well? Or?
I'll leave it a few minutes, alright.
Yeah.
So we'll do a panel by panel, and then once we finish the last panel, we'll go back to where we started and take it off from there.
Okay, yeah.
So everything's got the same amount of time, give or take.
Well, it's been a couple of days since the clip you just saw. We ended up not finishing, well, we got the car finished, but it was way too dark by the time we got everything done, and it was getting really cold. So we didn't really bother taking much more video or anything after that. So came home, parked it in the shed, and I've just brought it out today to take some pictures and to show you guys how it turned out. It's a really sunny day to the point where I can't even really look up properly, but let me flip you around and give you a look. I can't believe this thing is mine. absolutely stunning. It really, really did. Like I said, like I didn't know how much, not that I didn't have faith in Sean, like, but I don't know how much you could get a reflection in a real glossy, a real crazy shine off a white car, but like, it looks absolutely incredible. It's not even that super duper of a sunny today, it's still a little kind of cloudy, but it looks absolutely stunning. It came out incredible. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm so pleased with it. It's absolutely brilliant. Like, there isn't a single little spot or mark. Like, look at the reflection on the, you know, of the clouds and the trees, and it's incredible. Even the reflection of the house next door, you can see the chimney just there. It's absolutely amazing. I'm blown away by Sean's work. I really am. I mean, I knew the dude was good at his work, like, but to see it on, and it's the last thing that this car needed to kind of tie it together, was just to have that shine and that gloss and that look about it. I'm so pleased with it. I really am. The video doesn't do it any justice. Like, none of the clips you've seen have really done it any justice, but it's absolutely stunning. It really, really is. I really hope, I know it'll probably never happen, but I really hope some of you, if there's any of you that are watching there in Ireland or even Galway or something, I really hope people get to see it in person. Anyone that's seen the videos or anything, because it doesn't do it any justice at all. It's absolutely incredible. It really is. The only thing we didn't do was clean the glass, but that's easy. I'll do that myself some other time. But for now, God, it's stunning. I honestly couldn't be any happier with it. I really couldn't. God, it's fucking amazing. I know I keep repeating myself, but god damn, like, look at it. Fucking hell. It's stunning. I can't believe how good it looks. I really can't. I know I said it already, but I really hope some of you out there that are watching it get to see it in person someday. It's absolutely stunning. Like, it feels like glass. It's incredible. It really is. I probably shouldn't even be sitting in line against it, but it's kind of a weird moment, to tell you the truth. I guess that's kind of, the car's finished. It's a weird thing to say, because I've never really had a car that was finished. I guess there's always been something else, and then or I sold it, or I decided not to do things or whatever. But like, with the exception of just maintenance things, like I want to change the oil and put spark plugs in it, and I've got brake hoses for the front, and like small maintenance stuff like that, stuff that's not even really worth putting in a video. Everything I think I ever wanted to do with this car, I think, is done. It's a weird feeling. It's very strange. Like, and what's even weirder is, I think next week is St. Patrick's Day, and I believe, if I'd have to double check, but I think it was St. Patrick's Day last year, I took that week, that's 7 days off work, and it was when I first started the welding on this car. Like, if you look back at the first video of the rust repair, I think it was end of March, meaning it was recorded mid-March, so it's about a year it took to get from a fairly rusty shell, different colour doors, no air suspension, different wheels, all that kind of shit, like the whole car done in about a year. You know, aside from like the suspensions, the control arms and bushings and all that other stuff, but the big work, the paint job, the airlift setup, all the rust repair, all the underseal stuff, all that kind of stuff, all done in about a year, which is pretty quick if you consider I was only doing it, I took that month off to do all the rust, but the rest of it was done, say, you know, over weekends, because I was at work the rest of the time, or, you know, while having a, at the time, 6-month-old baby. You know, she's 1.5 years now. It's nuts. So, having said all that, future plans, I don't know if I even have any. I always thought once it hit NCT exemption in 2031, or 8 years time, that straight away, the day that happened, I would pull the bags out of it and put juice in it, put on hydraulics. But the more I think about it, the less inclined I am to do it. I think, because I'll put a picture in here, I almost bought a two-way setup that was in a guy's EF Civic, either 90 or 91 as well. Essentially we'll go straight into this with a little bit of modification, not that big of a deal. I almost bought it, but it's only two-way, which literally just means up and down, front to back, that's it. No three-wheel, no side to side, no doglegging, no nothing like that. So I have more versatility and more options with the air setup. So what I think I'll do is, if I ever get down that line of really wanting, I suppose what you call like a real lowrider, like an American car on juice, on, you know, fucking 13s to the concrete, 520s, all that kind of stuff, I would probably just save and go to England and try and get a, I don't know, and it's some kind of American thing, relatively old, maybe like not an Impala, I couldn't afford one, but like, you know, maybe an older G body, something like that. Just something kind of cool. You never, then again, you never know what could pop up and fall in your lap. Who knows? But yeah, other than that, so plans with it other than that is just put miles on it, and bring it to, like I said in the Cars and Coffee video a while ago, just bring it to whatever is relatively close by, within an hour or so. There's a couple of big shows coming up in Mondello, which is the only racetrack in the country. Here, if you're not familiar, like if you're not from Ireland, we only have the one racetrack and it's the other side of the country. It's about a 3-hour drive-ish. A couple of big shows are always on there. There's another big one in a place called County Longford, which is about an hour and a half for me. I'll bring it to, well, at the very least apply for it. I hope to get into it, bring it up to that. But other than that, as for actually changing anything in the car, nothing. There isn't a single thing on it that I would like to change. It's perfect. So lastly, I'll leave you with this, a massive fully erect thanks to Sean at Boutique Autocare for putting in all that work on Saturday. It's absolutely stunning. Not only just Sean, but all the other people that have helped me out with it too. Sean has helped me out in other ways with stuff with it before. Massive thanks to my old man for helping me out with it here and there. My wife for not being the kind of woman that gives out to me for wanting to go out to the shed for a couple hours a day or whatever like that. Massive thanks to Ivan and Dylan, Waterview Autos, for painting it. Anyone that's been involved. My friend Tom for picking up the donor car that time. The few companies that I got stuff off, Only Charge Dubs, Mark Davison there on Instagram, Hugo from Paraguay, he's an eBay seller, it's an incredible amount of stock for this car. Boz Matt Top Fuel Garage, there's so many people that have, whether they know it or not, inadvertently helped me finish this car and complete what I wanted to do with it. So many other people, but if I forget you, I apologize. So I really appreciate everyone for watching. It was never really, it was only ever done as a diary. Just if the day ever came that I, you know, it'd be cool to look back on all of this in 10, 15, 20 years time or something like that. Or if, which I don't think will ever happen. No, I know will never happen, but if the car was ever to be sold, at least someone looking at it or buying it could look back on all this and know that everything is legit. But most of all, yourselves for watching, the few people that interact in the comments and all that is pretty cool. It's nice to have a bit of chat back and forth with some of you people. People message me on Instagram about the car, stuff like that. It's cool. It's been a lot of fun doing it. As for any more videos, I'll make videos of little events we bring it to. If there's anything else I do that's video worthy, by all means I'll record it and put it up. I might do, I get a lot of the same questions, especially after that Cars and Coffee as well, where people saw it in person. An awful lot of the same questions about what it is, you know, what engine it is, where I got it, blah blah blah, you know, back and forth, all these questions, especially about the people asking about the white walls as well, and the engraving on the wheels and stuff like that. So if you have any questions or anything like that, put them in the comments there, and if there's enough questions to merit maybe doing like a frequently asked question video or something, I'll put that up. But if not, thanks again. We'll see you soon.